Alright, I've got a different image. I had an idea, figured out a way to make it work. So what we have here, in this new image, it has your mode name that we're working with, that's associated with the Roman numeral. And we got it for the 7 different modes that occur from a major scale or major key. You could also say from a minor scale or a minor key, because minor and major, well, they are relative to each other. But anyway, so got those Roman numerals you've been learning, and all the root notes. The root notes for the power chords, the different chords we're going to be checking out, they're in red. Okay? So let's see if I can adjust this once more. What happens if I scroll all the way to the top? Doesn't show everything. Alright, so we'll have to do it like this. Okay. Now, got this little red line here on these different fretboards to help make it easier to see that we are connecting the root note to what is called the fifth interval. Fifth interval. A power chord is made up of playing a root note and a fifth interval at the same time. When you play your major scale and you go up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 notes, so we've gone over that C scale a couple ways. This way, you know, that 3 note per string thing you were starting to work with. Well, if you just count up those notes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that's your fifth interval there. You can also do the other scale shape you learned, going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, if you did learn it, that is. But that's, so that was the part of the condensed shape I gave you. But anyway, what matters is starting with a major scale and going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That gives us the fifth interval. And then you've just been moving that around, playing a power chord. So we can get into more detail with that later. The biggest thing to remember is you're playing the root note and the fifth interval at the same time, and the interval has to do with the distance from one note to the next. So you got the root note, and then you're playing a note that is a fifth higher in pitch. So the blue note is the fifth interval, and then the green notes, those are, we'll call them the melody notes again. Call them the melody notes. So you can exchange, replace the blue note, the fifth interval, with one of the green ones to start creating some melodies. So, the one thing that's a little different here, Locrian mode. So, when you've used the 7th chord or 7th position, Roman numeral 7, we've just been focused on the regular power chord because it's nice and simple and you can get away with it, because if you recall, the power chord or 5th chord, same thing, power chord is a 5th chord. Power chords do not have a major or minor quality to them. So they don't sound like a major chord, they don't sound like a minor chord. They just emphasize the root note. But technically, the 7th, you cannot play a regular power chord and have it be 100% in key. So that's why this one looks a little bit different. That's a flat 5. Locrian mode has a flat 5 in it. So when you practice this stuff, I'll show you what to do here in a moment. When you practice this stuff, I want you to hit that nasty sounding interval. So you do know it. We talked about it, and you demonstrated it. So yeah, it'll sound a bit nasty, but it's good to know your options. So how are we going to practice this? How are we going to do this? So if I blow the image up completely on the screen, it's going to look really tiny. So let's look at it this way. So we got the first 2 things here. So when you're looking at this image, I want you to play starting with all the Roman numerals on the low E string. Well, let's see if I can get this all on and have it be okay. Well, it ain't the best, but I suppose it ain't the worst either. So the first thing to do, again, you're going to look at everything starting on that low E string. And just go through the numbers in order. So, you got your power chord, chord 1. Then, you're going to play the low melody note. Then you're going to play the high melody notes. Back to the 5th interval. So again, we start with the power chord, play the low melody note, high melody note, back to the power chord. Go up to position 2, power chord, low melody note, high melody note, back to the power chord. Up to number 3, power chord, low note, high note, back to the power chord. And then, after you play this, you go down to the low, number 3. Power chord, low notes, high notes, power chord. And up to number 4, power chord, low notes, big stretch, back to the power chord. If the stretch is too much for you, like if it hurts your wrist or anything, forget it. Don't push the stretch. It's definitely risky doing so. Don't want to push the stretch if it hurts. All right, and then number 5, power chord, low note, high note, power chord. Number 6, power chord, low note, high notes, power chord. And then number 7, our diminished 5th, low notes, high notes, back to the diminished 5th. And then once you do that a little bit, you know, you can just mess around with it, have some fun. And certainly do the same thing on the A string for the root note. So just use this chart. And also, I didn't point this out. All these gray dots, these are all the notes that are in the key of C, also known as the key of A minor. So you can combine chords doing any of these dots, any of them, totally fine. So at least with the colored or the highlighted notes, you got something specific to focus on. So yeah, starting on the A, number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that was this right here. Now I'm going to go down. And 7. And there we go. So definitely fiddle around with it all. Have fun with it. See what you come up with. And always, any questions, let me know. I'll see you next week.